12 months ago we had a $1.1 million mortgage and no investments and about $65K worth of personal debt. And today we have 5 investments as of the end of today. Only a car loan, but that's okay.
Yep.
And no credit cards, no personal debt.
Money isn't the root of all evil, the fucking lack of it is.
Not money, the lack of understanding money.
When I put that into emphasis, when I realised that psychological effect and how it hit our family, I FTB all the fucking way.
You are now watching the Money Mentor podcast
With Graham Home.
Graham Home.
You're fucking gone. See ya.
Welcome back to another episode of the Money Mentor, and we're continuing on the Changing Lives Financially episodes. And we have 2 beautiful special guests today, Amy and Rhett. Hello, how are we?
Good.
Thank you.
How are
Are we
you?
nervous?
A little bit.
We're excited.
Yeah,
Both.
yeah, a bit of
As
both.
long as a little bit of wee doesn't come out, we don't get too excited
Got a
or
little bit of
nervous.
wee right now.
So let's start with who you beautiful people are, background, where we're from, when was the first date, was it romantic, did he pay the bill, the whole, who are you? Tell us who you are.
Right, we're Amy and Rhett. We met at work 6 years ago.
Oh,
We
naughty.
Yeah. We have a 5-year-old son.
Yeah, you can do the math
You can
on
do
that
the math
one.
on that one, yeah. The funny story is that 2 weeks after we sort of made it official, Amy was seconded into being my manager at work.
Oh, shit.
So that, yeah.
Did
so
everyone know what was going on at work?
Oh,
we were
had
trying to keep it
announce
pretty quiet, but yeah, we had to talk to HR about it before we told friends and stuff. So
We had to declare it literally 2 weeks after we started dating,
yeah.
which was full on because, you know, it was so new, and then we went, oh my gosh, what do we do? So I had to declare it, and then Rhett was moved under another leader from a managerial perspective, so I could continue to be his leader for a little while. I think that lasted about 4 months.
So you can't be like rolling around on the office like slapping each other on the arse. Hey, babe!
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily it was a pretty sort of friendly relationship at work. It was pretty casual office. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Because that could be real awkward.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
It was for a little
Mind
bit.
you, we've got a couple of staff here that are married. Like Luke
Yeah.
and Jamaica are married, and Chris and Taylor are married. There's a
Jeremy and
few
Megan, yeah.
team members here that are actually married. So fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play on. As long as you're not
Yeah,
sleeping, so you're not going to sleep. Oh, then you became his manager.
I was
sleeping with the
seconded,
boss.
no, I was seconded in for 4 months, and and then I recruited the replacement manager into his role, so I could step back into my normal role.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it was an interesting time. There was a lot of jokes, inside jokes, and that kind of stuff. But
I bet.
we did the right thing.
Hey, as long as you're performing in your role, I don't think that sort of stuff matters, right? If you're a good human and you do your job and you're not coasting or taking the piss, it's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, there was never any issues. Yeah, it was good.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm a senior network engineer with a mining company over there.
And I'm a project lead for the same mining company. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. Do you still get jokes in the office and stuff? I don't know.
Well, I'm in the engineering team now, and Rhett's still in IT.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So different
okay.
different
Different
divisions.
departments now. So
Love
yeah.
a good
yeah.
story. When was the first date? Where'd you go?
Well, we met at work drinks, didn't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, it sort of went from there. I guess the first date was kind of the driving range, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you know how to play golf?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's how we bonded. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you know she knew how to play golf?
Well, the reason I knew that she knew how to play golf was that, like, during that conversation at the work drink, she'd mentioned that she was playing golf. I was like, I play golf. And then, so we caught up,
Bonded, and then,
the next weekend. And
But then 4 months after we started dating, we fell pregnant and had an oops baby.
Jeez.
yeah, so it was
Then
very quick.
and then so we were kind of met, moved in together, baby in all the space.
Love
of
at first
12
sight.
months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
was
COVID
it?
hit, and God, it was a whirlwind.
And then we had a COVID baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is getting interesting. This is
Yeah.
cute. Okay. Well, he's a very cute couple. It's a good story.
Thank
So
you.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. So where are you based?
In Western Australia, Perth. Yep.
So IT, mining, etc.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Beautiful bub. Okay.
Yep.
Now, pre-Infinity, talk to us. I guess when did you? Who found Infinity and when?
I found Infinity online in the middle of 2024.
Yep.
I saw your ads on socials.
Yeah, you can't really escape them. I think everyone's sick of seeing
If you
that.
Googled anything relating to budgets or finance, it'll generally come up in your feed.
Yeah, which is interesting because we don't do anything on Google ads at all. I
Yeah.
don't like spend it's just whatever.
Yep.
But Meta, like Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah, yep.
everywhere.
All over it. Yep.
Everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think that then pulls into Google and I
Yep.
don't know what it does. It does this metaverse or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so social media.
Yeah. So, but prior to that, our strategy was very much manufacturing equity into our into homes that we
Okay,
bought.
so backyard blitz, reno flip. sort
Yeah,
of-
so we
Yeah.
did a lot of renos ourselves. So in 2021, we bought our first house together for 525,000,
Okay.
and we did a big reno. We did a lot of it ourselves, where it's quite handy.
Yep.
Okay.
DIY, yep.
So you're good, you're handsome and handy.
Yeah.
Oh, you hit the
Whole package,
jackpot.
Right? And I'm not bad at designing. So.
Yeah, she's the interior designer, and I just deliver her vision, basically. Yeah.
And then 2 years later, we sold that for 800,000.
Okay. Wow.
Yep. And then we bought our previous property, which was in Sorrento,
Yep.
for 1.28.
Yep.
Did the same thing again. Did a backyard and inside facelift. I wouldn't say a full reno.
More a cosmetic reno.
yeah.
basically,
And then
Yep.
that got valued at 1.56.
Okay.
18 months later. Well, you guys valued that at
Yeah.
for us.
Well done.
Yep.
Okay.
So, but it was a hard slog. So renovating took every weekend,
Yeah.
after hours,
Yeah.
lots of stress, and we just got really, really tired in the end, and the strategy wasn't paying off for us. So
You'd almost bought yourself another. You're making good money, but you'd almost bought yourself another job.
yeah,
Basically, yeah.
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 yeah,
Okay.
Up until all ours, painting and
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like the scene in the Ghost movie with the clay and the house.
Not quite. Yeah, close enough.
Okay. So you found us on socials mid 2024.
yep.
And that was during that reno or post that reno?
We'd had a little bit more to go, but yeah, pretty much at the end of the reno, because we had these grand plans of extending the house and potentially going up, but that was going to cost us probably another $1 million to do that.
Yep.
And we had a mortgage of 1.1, and we were like, this is just, we got to do something.
It's almost cheaper just to go and buy something for 1.8 or 1.9. Or
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Construction's gone through. It's mental.
It's insane now. I mean,
$3.50 to lay a brick now in bloody WA.
yeah, 100%.
Because there's no brickies.
Yeah.
And you double brick.
That's
And
right.
they'll charge what they want as well.
Yeah. Well, they'll just,
They can.
whoever pays, they'll take that job. So if you don't have the money, you can't build.
100%.
And if you do build, it's through the roof.
And you're waiting 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what were you looking for when you found us? You were partway through that reno, found us on socials. What was going through your mind to go, I'll have a look at this?
I think we obviously working for a mining company, we make a reasonable amount of money.
Yeah.
And we just found that we weren't really getting anywhere.
Okay.
Like we were spending all the income was going on either renos or whatever it was.
Okay.
So we tried a company called My Budget to just basically have a look at
Okay.
where the money was going and how we could try and save some money.
Yep.
But then we found that was just too restrictive.
Yeah, they take all your money off you.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Not
And
your money anymore.
And the thing that killed that for me was I was at Bunnings looking for some pool chemicals, and I had to call them up to say, hey, I need some money to go and buy these pool chemicals. My pool's gone a bit green, and they said, oh no, we can't do that today. You'll have to wait till tomorrow. So
Because it was a
I
Sunday.
was like, no, okay, let's get
More
out
money.
of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it just, we were paying our bills, which we were before then, but we weren't making the savings that, they'd sort of promised.
Yeah, okay.
And we were like, this is shit.
Okay.
Yep.
So who watched the webinar first or together?
We watched
Together.
it together.
Yep.
Together, okay.
Yep.
Any skeptics or both on board?
As I was saying to Amy earlier, a good analogy is she's the accelerator, I'm the brake. So Amy's all go and I'm the one that's trying to go, hey, hang on a minute.
Let's check
Let's
this
think about
out.
this.
Yeah. That's a good yin and yang. So that's mine and Beck's relationship. I'm like,
Yep.
right? I'm like turbocharged.
Yep.
And Beck's like, oh, hang on a minute,
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it in a spreadsheet. And I'm like, no, I just did it in my brain.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, there's a lot going on in that brain. Let's put it in a spreadsheet.
Yep, for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's a good that's a good relationship, right?
Yeah.
Like gas pedal clutch, sort of
Yep.
brake accelerator.
Yep.
So, but did the webinar together.
Yes.
Okay, and then from there.
So I have a friend who also works at the same mining company. She's a client of yours, her and her husband.
Yep.
And I reached
That
out
helps.
to her. Yep.
Yep.
So did you see they followed me,
Yeah.
commented? How did you know that they were a client?
I saw that they followed you, and I did see something on her socials saying that she's going to pay off her mortgage within 4 years. And so I kind of put two and two together after we did the masterclass, the webinar. And then I reached out and I said, are you a client? And she just walked us through the process of joining Infinity and her experience, and what she and her husband are geared up to do. So, and I actually reached out to her just before coming to the Goldie.
Yeah.
She's almost paid off her mortgage, and she's been with you guys for 18 months. You guys need to get her on. And they've
Give her a
got
shout out. We'll get her on.
Katie Hazelwood,
Okay, we'll
and
get Katie.
Nathan. I think her
Katie and
husband's.
Nathan. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah,
So we told them 4 years.
and she's almost paid it off.
It's wild, right?
Yeah. Just by restructuring the things that she has. And so when we were
Give every
talking,
dollar a purpose.
Yep.
Interest is calculated. They're simple things,
Yep.
but none of us are. So we're taught some of these mathematical principles, but with no life application.
Absolutely.
So we learn compound interest at school. We learn there's nothing at 17 years old that makes you want to actually retain that information. If that's fair.
Yep.
So
Yep.
okay. So you picked her brain.
yeah, and so but what we liked about the webinar is a few things.
Okay.
Just the budgeting aspect was interesting. The fact that you kicked off the knobs, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Is this the webinar or the masterclass?
Yeah.
Both.
Both. Okay.
You did it in both. You're like,
Fuck
gosh.
off.
Yeah, that was great. Just because
Oh.
they tried to tried to school you, and it was hilarious.
Yeah. Look, I am no better than any other human being on the planet,
Yeah.
but for what I do, I'm very good at it. And if you don't want to listen and learn from me, why the fuck are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Go and spend time with your family. Go back to your parents' basement. I don't know, like whatever the fuck. I don't understand that. You know, I'm over here raising $700,000 for charity at the moment. I don't give a fuck.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
I don't get that. So when people do that, it's like,
Piss off.
mate, come on. Like, and also, say for example, we get the brokers on every month. I get a couple of brokers on
Oh, yeah.
under their Yahoo or Gmail or whatever, and you find them out through mobile phones or
Yep.
something props up, right? Or they don't put documents in, so we go see who they are. And it's very easy to see. It's like, if you think you're better than me, because none of us are better, then you wouldn't be spending money to secretly attend my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. You would be so busy, you would not be here.
100%.
I don't get it.
Yep.
Right? And then again, if you're better, you wouldn't be talking about me.
Yep.
Because I'm not talking about you.
Don't even know who you are, mate.
It's a funny one. So yeah, it's just like, guys, go away. Same as like, if you're trying to teach someone something, right? And there's hundreds of people there, and someone's vomiting something like blah blah. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just let
Fucking
people
Someone the
learn.
other day put an explanation of something about CGT in the chat bar, and I fucking lost it. They're like, as defined in Google. And I fucking stopped the whole event and said, thank you, fucking Professor Google, and went off my nut. I said, you're off. Get out. Money back. Because it's really hard. Like, it hijacks people's brains. So I'm glad you find it entertaining.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, that was one of the things that we thought was, or sort of gave us confidence in you, was that you just didn't suffer fools, basically.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
And I don't need the money. It's not like, there might be some businesses out there that get 10 people on a webinar and they're desperate for the sales.
Yeah.
We don't need. When I was live, like, because at the moment I got feedback. Everyone wanted it at weird hours. WA is different to here. Like 7:30 to do a Tuesday night webinar. Live's 5:30 for you guys.
Yeah,
maybe,
that's right.
Right.
hard.
Yeah.
You're still at work or you're in transit, right?
Yep.
So we got massive feedback of, hey, can I just watch this at my leisure? And I went, fuck, you know what? Done.
Let's just record
So I
one.
just literally, the shortest one I ever did was like 42 minutes. It was just short, sharp, fucking whatever.
Yep.
Some of them have done it 90 minutes. And we just grabbed the shortest one ever and said you can watch the recording every 15 minutes.
Yep.
But the chat bar is actually live.
Yep.
It
Yeah, okay.
updates overnight. So that's like a year's worth of chat bar. It's
Yeah.
just mental. It's like, da, 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 da.
Yep.
It doesn't mean anything. But yeah, we found people wanted to just watch it at their leisure.
Yep.
And that's blown the business up because now you can watch it every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But there's no time for fools
No, I love
or
it.
No.
I don't desperately need the client because you've got to apply to be a client anyway. So as soon as you fucking interrupt, see you later.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's just general courtesy. Like, you know, you wouldn't be on the webinar or you wouldn't be on the masterclass if you knew what you were talking about. So shut up and learn.
And we'll insert the shut up and drive song there.
Shut up and drive.
I love it. Okay. I tend to attract a certain type of person as well. So, okay.
Yep.
So, did that, spoke to, who did you say? Sorry, the Hazelwood?
Katie.
Yep.
Yep.
So, spoke to Katie. So, she was able to, hey, this is how far we're into it. This is what we're doing. So,
Yep.
that probably gives you some context of what's possible or not possible as well
Yep.
before you dive in. Okay. So, when did you do the masterclass then?
It was pretty much straight away after that, wasn't it?
September.
Yeah.
September? Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
So, sort of end of 20. And then come on board from that masterclass.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's September 24. So we've just had an anniversary. Like we're just a year into the journey.
A year and
Yeah.
a bit, yep.
Year and a bit. Okay. And then from there?
Yeah, so we attended, Infinity assessed us, and
I think we refinanced.
yeah, so we
Straight away,
refinanced
didn't we?
our mortgage straight away,
All that, yeah.
and
Yep.
Infinity assessed our value of our property to 1.56, which
Yep.
we were blown away by because in November 2023 we bought the Sorrento house,
Yep.
and you know not even a year later.
About 400 odd grand.
Yeah, and so we were like, yes, we can do something.
Yeah.
And then you assessed our superannuation, and being in mining, we had a good
super,
amount.
Yep.
And so, yeah, we refinanced straight away and released 150K in equity
Right.
for our Sorrento house.
Yep.
And then you guys asked us to come to REM. Was it December? Did you do one in December last year? I think it might have been one in
I
December.
don't know, but I've got a feeling Louis let you come early because if that was September,
Yeah, that's it.
October, November, December's fucking cutting.
Yeah, that's it.
Louis, I've got him so many times in the podcast in the last few days. He's a good man. I love him to bits,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
People always like, I'm ready. And he's like, I'll slip you in. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, 90 days, then you can come. And it's like, I think Louis thinks 90 days is 60 days.
Yeah, 100%.
He's like, but the loan was done. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, he's all right.
So
He's good.
yeah, I think we settled when we came, like the loan settled when we came to REM
Yep.
on the day of, and then you know suddenly we had 150K of equity loan. You know, everything was gravy really, wasn't it? And then we met with Lou.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And where are we sitting today? So we've released equity from the home.
Yep.
Yep.
And that got us a dual lock
Dual
here
lock
in
investment, yeah.
Orchid Grove.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, basically went the self-managed super fund
We
path.
Met,
fun-
we met Peter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Sorry,
One of
yeah,
the
yeah.
financial
Yeah,
planners, yeah.
Peter Stem, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been great.
He's
So
on
you've
that
done the
journey.
whole look at your current funds and super and past
Yeah.
performance over the years
Yep.
versus
Yeah.
would you do something else?
Yep.
Were they performing?
I mean, they were okay. They were average.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We're sitting around the sort of 8%
Yep.
mark on average, something like
Yep.
that, yeah.
Okay.
but
And that's
then,
that's on the cash balance. There's no leverage.
yeah,
So you've now gone into property in super.
correct, yeah.
You're going to borrow
Got
leverage.
2 in super, yeah.
Two.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Ballers.
one's Elysium Fields,
Yeah.
and the other one is a townhouse in Mill Park that is tenanted and
Awesome.
ready to go. So our super balance now looks
Looks
pretty
pretty good.
nice.
Your asset base you're controlling
Yes.
now
Yep.
is
Yeah.
much larger.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if we can pick up the same 8%, but on the portfolio balance of the real estate,
Yep.
That's
and
right.
Yeah, that's a very different return.
Well,
Yeah.
when we met with Pete, and he was phenomenal. That was one thing that we loved about Infinity, is the end-to-end service you get.
And what's good too when you talk about, I love it because they're external.
Yeah,
So it's like bringing
Yep.
external. Say, hey, we're great at what we do,
but we're not.
but we're not an expert at everything. So bringing in the economists,
Yeah,
7 or 8 different financial planners,
Yep.
7 or 8 different lawyers, accountants.
Yep.
That's really the magic.
Yep.
It's because you see your broker or the banker and they give you the loan.
Yep.
But we need to talk with an accountant, and we all want to work on you to get
Yep.
you these results, right?
Yep.
And
that's the magic.
And I mean, there's no way that we could have ever done all of that stuff by ourselves. The amount of
Didn't know.
paperwork that needed to be done, even with all of those people helping us, my head was still spinning. Like, which one's this one?
Yeah.
For? Like, yeah. So having that help from both you guys and partners
But
is
Pete modelled our super fund for us,
Right.
which prior to meeting you guys, we didn't know that you could get, well, I mean, we knew that you could get independent advice, but we never went down that path.
Right.
And then meeting with Pete, he showed us various different scenarios if we sort of tweaked here and
spat it all into the system
Yeah.
and modelled that way and that way.
And we were just
had a lot of options.
our the projected potential outcome, huge. We're
Well,
going to be millionaires.
Just 1% difference, but compounding over
Yeah.
all those years is
Yep.
Like
very
we're going to be
different.
very comfortable when we retire.
Yeah.
So it's basically showed us, if you stick with where you are now, you'll get your 8% thereabouts, and you'll end up with this much when you retire.
Yep.
If you change into this particular fund that like he manages, that's more
You get
averaging more
this.
like 12%, and you'll
Yeah.
get this much, and that's not restructuring anything. And if we put a little bit more in,
Yeah.
you'll
And
get this
then
much, and then if you
properties and
properties do this, you get
Just
yeah.
phenomenal.
Just spelled it out.
Pretty
for
much
us,
all
yeah.
that consultation with Pete, that external firm, you pretty much set your retirement up now. It's sort
Yeah,
of
Absolutely, yeah,
box ticked.
Yeah.
Done. I mean,
We don't have to
lot
worry
of
about it.
lot of time, lot of energy, a lot of information to process.
Yeah.
But you've gone through that now, tick the box, done. It's just about letting it run its course. I guess monitoring it, right?
Yep.
That's pretty good because you guys are only young.
Yeah, 39 and 40.
You're babies, right? So to think at 39 and 40 you've taken control of that rather than wait 10, 15 years, have a GFC, a war, or like something can go, oh shit, I should look at, my super halved overnight.
Yep.
Oh, it went up a lot, or then it went down. Like, that's really good that you've taken control of that sort of sub 40
Yep.
because you've got all that time now to actually monitor it more intensively
Yep.
and make sure that it does what it's been modelled to do. That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It must be a good feeling.
It is. Yeah.
We've gone up maybe 20K this year because we buy more stocks and get advice from Pete, and
Good.
so above what we're contributing.
Yeah.
And then obviously the property goes up as well.
So is it safe to say now with Pete, you're fairly hands-on with your super now? So you're like, hey, we buy this and sell. It
Yeah.
sounds like you've been a bit more proactive about what
Yeah.
most people don't think of until
Yep.
they retire. It's like, oh, I've got this. You guys sound pretty proactive on it.
Yeah, well, I monitor the stocks, and then I'll just send Pete an email saying, hey, can we buy into this stock? And he'll go, yep, go for it. Or he might go, do you want to?
Yeah. Yeah, he sort of gives us that flexibility to be
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
have that input.
Yeah.
But then he will obviously
Yeah.
still gives advice on what we think as well.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So 2 properties in super,
Two in our
plus
personal.
investments in the market. So we've diversified a bit there.
Yep.
What else?
And then 2 in our personal name. And then we're meeting with Lou, our wealth strategist, at 1 o'clock today to go and get our 5th one.
Okay. Congratulations.
Yeah, huge.
What about home?
We rent vest.
So we sold the home.
We
Yep.
did. Yep.
Let's talk through that process. Good decision, bad decision?
Still waiting to see what happens there because we sold and had a bit of cash left over, but we've in the last 6 months we got asked to basically move out of the rental that we moved into because the owners wanted to move back in, so we've had a bit of an uplift and just moved into another rental. So
you sold that property, flipped it, no CGT because it was your home, you renoed it, you took the money off the table, no tax, great.
Yep.
And you said before it was going to be like $1 million or something to build anyway, right?
build.
So it didn't really achieve what you wanted. Okay, so it makes sense. Draw the equity out of it. We do the loan, get the equity out.
And then sold it.
And so what? I mean, we earn a commission, we pay it back. Who fucking cares? It doesn't matter to us, right? It's what's best for you guys, and that's key as well. So we then sell it, clear some of those debts.
We cleared 65K worth of personal debt, so we don't have any personal debt.
So that must be a bit of a relief.
it is. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Cash flow wise now, it's like, yeah, cool.
We could, 12 months ago we had a $1.1 million mortgage and no investments and about 65K worth of personal debt. And today we have 5 investments as of the end of today Only a car loan, but that's okay.
Yep.
And no credit cards, no personal debt.
So it feels better.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's
But you're renting.
renting. Mm.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean the renting. So this year has been a bit tough. So we sold in April, and we moved into our rental, our first rental, which was beautiful. And then literally the weekend, the Monday after that, I got the tap on the shoulder and got made redundant from my role because mining's going through
Yep.
a hell of a
Phase,
a
yeah.
hell of a change. And so I was on 3 months gardening leave, and then I managed to come back as a contractor
Okay.
in a different part of the business. And so I was fortunate I could come back to the mining company that I work for. But because I'm a contractor, it changed our borrowing capacity.
Yep.
So no longer a full-time employee. Yes,
Yep.
I got cash out of it, but no longer a full-time employee. So that affected us. And then, as Rhett mentioned, 6 weeks after we moved into our rental, the owners came back and said, could we move back in? And we're not assholes. We said, yeah, look, we'll work with you.
Yeah.
And so sort of, the last month or so, we've been looking at rental properties. And we applied for 4, and we're talking at rentals between, $1,200 and $1,400 a week. And there were 50 applicants. And we got rejected for 2. And we were kind of going, on paper, we're pretty good. Like we've got 1 dependent, 3 animals, both have really good jobs, both have an investment portfolio. We were still being rejected. And so I was freaking out.
Well,
'Cause I'm a planner.
I was reasonably calm because I knew that we had a lease agreement for a year, so we didn't have to get out
Right.
until the end.
You told them, look,
But
yeah,
we said,
if
look,
we can
we'll
find
try.
something, we'll go.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And so when we got rejected from the first couple, I was like, that it sucks, but
Yeah.
it was okay. We've still got another 6 months here to actually find something decent.
Yeah. But so we contacted Siobhan, or I contacted Siobhan, saying, look, we're being rejected. What happens if we can't find anything?
Yeah.
Could we look at buying again? We'll shelve this rent vesting idea. And she got on it with, the Infinity team, and she was so amazing. She probably had whiplash from the amount of changes that we were going
I was
through.
going to say, being made redundant, kicked out of your rental, it's all happening here.
Yeah.
It's been a year.
And so anyway, I was sitting at work, and I decided to listen to the podcast just while I was working away, one of your podcasts. And then one of the couples who was rent vesting, I can't remember their names, and they had $6 or $7 million worth of property.
Yeah.
I was watching that episode, and it kind of just kicked my ass a little bit, going, you know what? You can't change the strategy because you've had a couple of ups and downs.
Right.
You need to go back to what you were planning, as your word said, let the baker bake, and just keep going.
The only plans that don't work are the ones you don't see through.
Yep.
Because that plan has a path, the project just
Yep.
timeline and benchmarks. And if you give it a little fart and then stop,
Yep.
it's just an expense.
Yep.
You haven't seen it through.
And I kind of
That's
went
good
home.
that he had that moment.
It was it was one of those.
Felt personally attacked.
Yeah. It's like, if G was here, he'd probably tell me to pull my head in and keep going. And so I went home that day, and I said to Rhett, okay, I'll stop having a freak out, and let's just keep going. And then literally the next day we got approved for a rental.
Right.
And then Infinity came back, I think the same day, and said, yeah, you can go and get another investment property. It was like the universe aligned.
It's almost like once you went, all right, I'm going to see through the plan, everything else just fell into place.
Fell into place.
But while you were considering pushing against your own plan, it
yeah.
was friction, it was stress, things weren't aligning.
Well, it's just deeply uncomfortable, So losing a job that I was in or a company that I was in for 7 years, renting, having the instability of renting, then going back as a contractor, and contracting isn't guaranteed. But, then I also sort of said, well, neither is being an FTE in this market either.
No.
So, what's there to lose? And, Infinity were able to argue that because of my
Continuity,
continued
same employer, just
same
a
employer.
contractual status.
Yep, that
And that's where the expertise comes in of
100%.
which lenders, how strong we are as a broker to put
Yep.
forward a very strong client that's
Yep.
following a process. All of those things go up to the credit manager for assessment. It's
Yep.
not just sending a loan and looking at the numbers.
Yep.
It's telling the lender a story.
Yep, which
That's
you did.
really important.
And they went, yep. And so we're going to get another one this
Yeah,
afternoon.
here we are again.
So that'll be number 5.
5.
Yeah.
In September, so you did December, September masterclass, December REM. Okay, so 5 in like under a year.
Yeah.
When you put it like that, yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Yep.
Well, it's better than 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
21, a lot.
Yeah.
5 in 12 months is wild.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of, when we were asked to come on the podcast, we were like a bit of imposter syndrome. Like,
Right.
do we even deserve to be here? And then we had a chat and it was, well, yeah, we've got 5. We've got no debt.
We
And how many people do we know that have got that many investment properties? And we've thought about it. Well, nobody that's not in Infinity. So
You also made a big decision to sell your home and rent vest because you had a big debt. Yeah, good incomes, but huge debt, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Debt and other unsecured debts and stuff. So there's a lot going on for you guys that's worthy of a story. And we had a list of thousands of people to come on the podcast, and the team just go through every month or two and go, okay. And people aren't available. Some people haven't even been asked yet because it's a huge list there, and we kind of spin a wheel. But we try to get different avatars because we want to hear someone who's 6, 12 months into the journey, someone who's 3 years, and then you listen to, say, a Doug and Letitia from 2012, 13. They're 13 years into the journey, or a Craig and Kim are 9 years into the journey. So there's such a vast difference between each avatar of a client.
Yep.
That you hope that you can connect with different people.
Yep.
So you've done bloody well. You've made some big moves.
Yeah.
Huge moves.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
you look at the percentage of investors that own one property that's usually their old home and they move into the new one.
Yep.
Yep.
Look at the percentage that own, so the 2, one investment, one home. They don't really get past that or 3.
Yep.
To have 5,
Yeah.
let's do some rough numbers and go, okay, if they're worth $1 million each, to control $5 million of property
Almost $1 million each, yeah.
at current growth rates,
yeah, that's pretty good.
then you go, okay, well, let's say it grows 6.8% a year, 6%, 6 5's are 30. There's $300,000 a year while you sleep. Some areas have gone 9%, 10, 12% at the moment. Some have gone 3, some have gone, they're all different, right? But you got a couple of $100,000 a year in growth at the moment in a growing market. Now, hey, could all of a sudden, mining, GFC, this, that, fart, shit the bed, whatever, could do nothing for 5 years.
Yep.
But you've got to be in it to get the growth when it happens. And you can't save hundreds of thousands of dollars a year
Absolutely not. Yeah.
net of tax like any investment, whether it's property or stocks, you can't save at that rate. You just can't. So you should be bloody proud of yourselves.
Yeah, it's kind of a pinch me. Doesn't really feel real. And because they're sort of building and they're staggered and, we've got one that's
One's just
tenanted.
tenanted, some are building, some
One,
are,
yeah, 2 are building at the moment. And then...
some off
the
the
oth-
plan.
we got Elysium Field, so that's
Yeah.
building at the moment. And the other 2 in Queensland are building at the moment. And then
Yeah.
whatever we get this afternoon is just, it's insane.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
I just, it doesn't feel real at the moment, in the sense that, they're there and because you can't touch and feel them. We've got them all over the country,
Australia,
but they're in our name and it's insane.
that old good old Ponzi scheme. They're in my name.
No, yeah,
It's funny because people freak out, like friends and family and stuff
Yep.
like that. I know when I came from debt and shit, and as I started to, even my nan, God bless her cotton socks, she passed now, she's my favourite person well besides mum. She's like, oh, just be careful, love.
oh yeah, we've got
Careful,
all
love.
of
Yeah,
that.
we've got all of those in our life.
Try to give her money to help her. Put it off your mortgage. Something.
Yeah.
That era, that post-war
Yeah.
era. So
Yeah, and our parents both of our parents have been uncomfortable because it's not what they did. They're the own your house and stay with it forever.
Yeah, that's okay.
And that's their
Different generation.
Yeah, that's their generation. And they also are very scared of debt.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you've got that much debt. Well, yeah, but we've got that much assets too. So
Yeah, and you pay that much bloody tax. It's okay to have a
yeah,
heap of deductible debt.
Yeah.
Different debt.
yep, yeah. It's pretty wild.
I think it'll start to feel a little bit more real. I think, well, for me at least, once the investment we've got in our own name sort of matures and we can then sell that one and buy two more type thing. I think that'll start to feel a bit more real at that point.
Yeah, okay.
I guess that's kind of why I felt a bit of imposter syndrome, because I felt like we're not that far into our journey yet. But now that you recap, where we're at, it actually feels pretty good.
We've met people before in financial despair. I'm like, hey, you should sell and rent vest. So you're still in the market, and they don't. And then they come back a year later and they're financially fucked. And I'm like, it's too late now. I can't help. You guys have made some sophisticated decisions that have set this up for you. So we just give you the numbers. You got to pick it. I do want to sell. I don't want to sell. I do want to buy. I don't. And that's the fun part of it. It all comes back to you ultimately to make the decision. It's not no, you can't have fucking chlorine or whatever you need. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's your money. You know what I mean?
Like $40.
And
Couldn't have it. Yeah.
But you've got to decide whether you see it through or not. That's the key. So. Tell me, what have you learnt on this journey so far? 'Cause it's been sort of just over a year, building a sizable portfolio. What have you learnt? What's been hard and what's been critical along the way? If I'm sitting at home now listening to this and go, oh, well, I don't want to budget, or, oh, I don't want to, like, say someone, they're stuck in their home, they've outgrown it, they can't rent it, and they think, should we sell? No, but then we're out of the market. I mean, you're not out of the market. You're 5 times more in the market than you were, right?
Yep.
So what's some of the things you could share with people if they could take some advice from your journey?
Yeah, I think for me, because I'm such a cautious person, I think just letting go and letting you guys run your strategy, because you guys are the experts. So, that's probably been the hardest thing for me. I think
it takes time. It's like you got to build that trust as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Some skin in the game.
I mean, that's what those the masterclasses and REM are for, is to try to build up, show us. Look, we actually know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that the budgeting side's been simple.
Okay.
I mean, because obviously we tried that, but my budget
big spenders before, but right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, but a lot of that was to try to build equity in the homes anyway. I mean, there was a lot of other spending going on as well, but. I think just the establishment of the FFF, and we didn't set it too high or too low.
What is your food, fuel and fun?
What are we, about 600?
Okay.
So for a house
and that's
of 3.
pretty copers, like you stick to it most times?
Most times, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Not perfect.
Every now and then you go, oh, fuck, we'll go out for dinner and
Which we do.
Yeah, every now
might
and
blow
again.
a couple of $100, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But most of the time it's pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing people realise. It's not like you eat 2-minute noodles for the rest of your life. It's like, no, just these are our groceries. This is a normal week of life.
But, we shop at Aldi, and everybody ribs Aldi, but if we can get 90% of the stuff from Aldi for at least $50 cheaper, it gives us extra to go and have coffees or after work drinks or go out for dinner. Food's food. It doesn't matter what the packaging is.
Yeah.
Food's food. But I think for me, if I was to sort of say to someone who was coming on into Infinity, is our story is our story.
Yep.
And you don't have to be a rent vestor to join Infinity, and you don't have to have, you don't have to do rapid repay to join Infinity. If you wanted to do something slightly different, that's okay. But I think, you're given a wide selection of services. So it's not just the broker and the buyer, the wealth strategist. So we've been given an accountant who specialises in SMSFs. We've been given the financial strategist who set up our SMSF, our lawyers who help us settle. We had an issue with the council in one of the settlements, and they went in batted for us. You guys find our investment properties that align to our strategy. You wrote our strategy.
Yeah.
We said, this is what we want, and you guys went, okay, cool. This is how we get there.
Yeah.
And that was, that's specific to us. We were willing to sell our principal place of residence because we didn't, because we weren't, that was never our forever home. It made sense for us, but that doesn't mean that everybody else listening has to do that.
Yeah, totally. Everyone's unique. Run their own race.
Because we weren't emotionally attached to the place. We thought, we've had enough of this place, and do we buy another PPR or do we rent vest? And we just decided to take the rent vesting option and use that capital to basically invest further.
Yeah, it's a really good point. It's no one has to sell their home. No one has to sell their car. No, everybody's quite unique. I mean, your circumstances are unique to your friends. Everybody's a bit different, Obviously, if everyone can maintain a family home and invest as well, great.
Yeah.
But obviously, without the family home, you can invest at a much greater level than you could with the family home $1 million debt. Yeah.
And it's a hard, like anyone who's thinking of becoming a rent vestor, there is a, I don't know, stigma around not owning your own home. It's very against the Aussie dream.
Yeah. Whenever we tell people that we're rent vestors, they go, "Ooh, renting." Yeah. Okay.
Well, Luke in Jamaica, multi-million dollar portfolio.
Yep.
They were rent vestors.
Yep.
They refused to live in the property. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Little property, North Brizzy Way, North Lakes, little property, Pimpama, they just chipped away.
Yep.
And they rented the street behind where one of their houses were.
You're right.
So they're renting one of the homes because it was cheaper than and all of their debt was tax deductible for years.
Yep.
Now they're in a $4 or $5 million, 1,100 square meters on Currumbin River, doing a rent, beautiful bloody home, stunning, right? Everyone's journey is different, but there is a stigma to rent, and I don't think rent vesting applies to everybody. It can be a bit of, it's a bit of a gimmick for buyers agents to get people to buy more properties.
Yep.
You got to be careful. It's got to be a strategy.
Yep.
I think, like you said, you tell us or you tell any advisor, these are the things I want to achieve, and this is the time frame I want to achieve it in. Then you build a strategy. Now for you, rent vesting was one of the strategies. And you've gone, well, shit, if we can achieve that, let's do it. And I think that's really key. Take the stigma away. Whether you're a homeowner and you've got a big debt and that works for you, great. No stigma to it, right? Whether you're a rent vestor, no stigma to it. Different strokes for different folks.
100%.
What works for one may not work for the other.
Yeah.
Okay. You said budgeting wasn't hard. You said that was pretty easy.
I mean, obviously, we thought that it might be trying to stay to the budget, but I mean, we seem to work pretty well to it. It's not too hard to stick to.
And I mean, aside from having to move house, because that's always an expense, but as you teach, life is going to throw you expenses. As long as you've got your budget to fall back on, who cares? But in a good month, we're sweeping anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000 away.
It's wild. It's nuts.
Yep. And so we've got a new we've moved from Ben to Mo.
Yep.
Now.
New strategist.
Yep. So and Mo sort of said, right now that you've got your loan in Queensland for the 2 houses, sweep everything. No longer have a offset account. Sweep everything into. Sorry, I keep doing that. Sorry. Sweep everything into the mortgage and just reduce that interest. And again, we didn't know that we could do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, traditionally with an investment loan, you won't pay it off.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we thought.
Because it's tax deductible debt, and by paying it off, you lose that tax deduction forever. People would use offset accounts.
Yeah.
Right? And then want the cash. I'm a bit against the grain, a bit contrarian to say, hey, don't you want to own the fucking property? Yeah, we can pay interest only, and we can not pay it down and have more cash flow, which will probably piss up against the wall, or we can create $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year of equity, plus the 5 or 6% we don't pay and don't have to worry about claiming. And every year or two, you've got to deposit for another asset.
Yep.
So it's different. We are a bit unique in that aspect, but I think if you met the same people as you spending the money, right, or leaving an offset or spending, versus you paying down the actual debt and it's done, you'll be twice as wealthy, because even if your property and their property grow at the same value, you got the same growth, you also paid it down. You have a double return. Your returns significantly increase compared to theirs.
And that one's an exciting one. That one's the unicorn, the dual lock.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, we can't wait for that one.
They're pretty cool. That 2 incomes from one asset's great. I mean, I was doing another podcast just earlier, and They're saying they bought with us in 2021, and it was 7 something, I think, and they sold in 2024, and they made just under 400 grand because that was that 2 income. So when they went to sell it, it was renting for like 1,100 a week or something.
Yeah.
So most people, you see a lot of properties around that 4.5-5% yield, and other investors bought it off them to go, fuck, 1,100 a week, and they bought for like 730 and sold for 105. Like it's like 400 grand.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, so I think that they're cool. They
Yeah.
can work really good cash flow in the interim, but
Yeah.
still good capital.
Just
So
chunk down the mortgage as well.
yeah, okay. Anything else you'd say to anyone else out there that like looking for help at all? Anything else you've learnt on? Is there anything you found hard on the journey?
There's a lot of paperwork up front. You got to be
Yeah.
prepared to. But if you want something, you have to be organised enough to do it. So setting up an SMSF is
That's heaps of
There's
heaps of
so much
meetings, heaps of
paperwork.
compliance,
Yeah.
and legals, and
And in the start, like we just transferred over to like the better performing super, and then we went, oh no, let's do SMSF as well.
Right.
So we had twice as much paperwork.
yeah. So
setting all
you
that up.
went from like a X industry fund to Y fund,
Yep.
and then went on, I stuff that.
Into
Let's
the
actually
management.
take control. So
Yeah,
you kind of doubled up along
Yeah,
the
we
way.
did. Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, I think take the knowledge, right? Because you got enough knowledge to go, yeah, we can improve.
Yeah.
But then you obviously either process more or got a bit more knowledge to go, no, we just actually want to take complete control. So
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's-
with regards to the things that we should let people know is, you kind of see these things and you go, oh yeah, but they're probably the select few in that group that have done really well, but everyone else is just average. I think joining the Facebook groups, pretty much every week someone announces that they've paid off a mortgage, or they've settled on yet another IP, or they've cleared their debt, or they've
it's a private group. I don't let anyone see it.
yeah.
Oh, we see it as a
We
client.
see it as a client, but
Yeah, you seen them
know,
yesterday. Finished
yeah.
the podcast and they were in there. They're like, "Hey, I just thought I'd share our story. We've kept quiet until now.
Yeah.
Smashed it.
Yeah, and you kind of go, wow, we're not just the people, on the top of the select few clients.
It's everyone doing it.
Everybody is doing this.
Everyone's winning.
Yeah, and it's not a Ponzi scheme.
Did you guys get to the WA community events at all?
No, we didn't. I think we were away at the time, were we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah,
So the Perth, WA, they were there for like a week. They
Yeah.
went bowling, and then they went to the
Yeah.
pub, and then they went to it was wild. It was all week.
yeah, we were.
But even that, like the community events, and it's super cool for everyone to get together and share their wins. And so the other day, oh hey, I'm trying to do this. Has anyone had just helping each other?
Yeah,
It's really cool.
yeah,
It's really cool. So, but that's why I keep saying we'll have to put out like 500 or 1,000 of these like super quick. Just be like, okay, here's all our paid actors.
yeah.
But you're right, it's not a select few. It's
It's everybody.
everyone's winning.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is, I guess that comes back to like the Kmart thing and blow my mind. Like
yeah,
everyone's winning, they're doing so well. Everyone was kind enough to give back, so that's like I'm chuffed this year. It's made my year.
yeah. When you released it, I think the next morning I had a look and I screenshot it and put it in the chat that overnight there was like 60K, and now what, you're at 700,000, over 700.
720 something this
Yeah.
morning. Yeah, it's
Yep.
probably gone up again.
Yeah. It's
So that's
amazing.
what
Really
I was
aiming
asked
for
someone,
500,
asked
weren't
someone else on the podcast, what do you reckon we'll get to?
I reckon 1 million.
No way.
I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I
You've
don't
got
know.
so many clients and you've got so many builders and
I think a lot of the big stuff's come in, like Beck and I did 100 personally. Ron did 100. And then a lot of people done 30s, 50s, some big ones in there from a lot of like businesses, so lawyers, accountants, the financial
nice.
planners.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pete, I think all those guys put like 25, 30 for like,
amazing.
it's fucking
Yeah.
awesome, you know what I mean? Like, and they're small, some of these guys are smaller businesses than us, like that's huge. I mean, they can claim it on tax.
Of course they
Yeah,
can.
of course they can.
But like to have the money to give is super cool that they care.
Yep.
But there were a lot of the big ones I think have come in. I think
Still a lot
now-
of time between now and Christmas.
yeah, I'd love to crack a bill. I'd love to.
I hope you do.
And then I said we've got to do 5,000 presents, But that was an easy one because I said if we get 3,000-4,000 at the Christmas party, if everyone brought one or two and they came up in the salvos there and they take them away in the trucks, that'd easily be 3,000 to 5,000. But then everyone collectively shopping, sending their receipts in their local Kmarts. So I reckon we might know like 10,000 presents as well.
You're awesome. Yeah.
It's the cool. It's made my year. I'm fucking chuffed. I'm so pumped. So it's we had the News Corp here the other day doing a thing, and I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, can you put the Santa hat on? I'm like, oh, here we go. But so we try not to do the media of it, but it's so cool. Like, I want to talk about it so much because I want, if one person doesn't know us, and you want to think of something fucking cool to do this year, take your kids to Kmart and explain what you're doing, and let them pick a present for another child.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
For sure.
It's the fucking, it's the cool, like if they're old enough and they can understand. If they're younger, they'll crack the shit so they don't get to take the present home. There's going to be a tantrum. But if they're old enough to understand, I think it's super cool.
Yep.
Super. Even on Christmas, they go, oh, how do you think that person, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's
for
cool.
sure.
So, and appreciate you guys being part of that as well.
Yep.
He's coming back for the Chrissy party. Big.
Yeah, it's for me. It's the time off work. I'm already in bloody negative leave, so
You need a
coming
good
here, so-
boss. Oh no, you're not the boss.
not anymore. Yeah. She can't improve it.
We might go next year.
Yeah.
Probably a bit hard this year.
Every year it's got to be bigger and better. So I don't know. Yeah, there'll be some cool footage.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's good. Hey, we're going to do a part 2 of this because you're seeing Lou today in a second.
Yep.
And once you see Lou, it looks like you're adding to the portfolio.
Yeah.
So we're going to have done 5 in 12 months-ish, 13 months. But then it'd be really good to get back together in like 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
Just to do a version 2 for everyone who's seen this and thinks, I relate to these guys. So see where we are then. Are we considering going back into an owner OC? Have we continued to rent vest? I think it'd be really valuable to do a part 2.
Yeah, cool.
If that's okay.
For sure.
And let everyone know where we're at then. And okay, well, this one's got these tenants and this one's doing that, and we're a bit more progressed. But what questions do you have for me while we're here today? Anything you want to pick my brain on at all?
I guess one question I had was, is there a particular type of property that you would recommend to rent vestors? So obviously we've got a mixture of dual locks, we've got an apartment, a townhouse.
How all different.
Yeah, but is there one that would accelerate your, obviously we're after capital growth. Is there one in particular that you would recommend to rent vestors?
Look, it depends on what you're trying, but there's no strict answer because the way we work for our property strategies are age, taxable income, borrowing capacity, all those, like what can you do? Then we have to go into before that, what your goals are. So when we know how much you can borrow based on a projection of, well, you can borrow $5 million if you get $5,000 a week rent. You know, if you spend $1 million, do you get, all those sorts of things, yields, all that. You've got to figure that out first and create a scenario. Then you've got to look at capital versus income. Yep. So a dual occupancy, for example, gives a stronger rental yield. You might get 6s, 7s, not 4s or 3s. Yep. You got to look at, say, if you went and bought a unit in Sydney, you might get a 2% yield.
Yep.
If you had an apartment in Brisbane or Melbourne, you might get a 6 or 7% yield. So they're different mark. Whereas if you say I've got a unit in Sydney, you might get more capital growth.
Yep.
But so there isn't one set answer for that.
Yep.
If you were saying to me, Graham, I've got the capacity for $900,000 and I want as much capital growth as possible as quickly as possible, I'd say just go buy an apartment with an ocean view on the Gold Coast.
Which is, we're hoping that Lou gives us that one.
I might have one I prepared earlier for you. But so something like that, because when you look at Australia, and it could be Sunshine Coast, it could be Northern New Zealand, but when you look at Southeast Queensland specifically, is the net number one interstate migration. Most people migrate internationally to Melbourne or Adelaide. They tend to hop their way to Sydney for income, lifestyle, a bit warmer. Everybody ends up staying. When you look at the numbers every year, more people come to Queensland every year.
Yep.
And it's the all year round weather,
Yep.
Commutable distances, lifestyle, all that sort of stuff. Weather's a big player. It's a bit interesting here, but on the roads, people take 2 hours to watch 60 Minutes. They slow down to merge. It's a bit funny up here. Like I'm used to driving in Sydney, and it's like, "Arr, you're aggressive," and then here you go to get on the motor, and everyone slows down to 60. I'm like, fucking speed up, get on the motorway. You know, it's interesting. Go to Coles, like, you know, you work in corporate in Sydney and stuff like that. Or you go to Coles, you finish work late, rock up, Coles is shut at 6 o'clock. I'm like, how do I get some fucking groceries? You know, it's very, but people are up at 5 a.m. here when the sun's up.
Yep.
And everyone's out and walking on the beach and having a coffee and all that. So it's a very different lifestyle.
Yep.
Most, like the coast, for example, most places you want to go, you can get to in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But that will change over time, obviously, sadly. But yeah, look, I think you've got to be strategic. I always say to everyone, try to stay 20, 30, 45 minutes of a major capital CBD.
Yep.
So think of your major hubs and those ripple effects, you know, as it flows out, and try to find something in. But anytime you can find something with ocean, river, you know, anything coastal or water has never performed poorly.
Yep.
Even when you look along like Melbourne, somewhere you go, Docklands has been the arsehole of the earth for years. It's fucked, right?
Yep.
But then I've seen some stuff coming up for millions and millions of dollars now that's selling there as it gets gentrified, redone. And everyone said, and it has. You bought there 10, 20 years ago, you're fucked, right? However, what's happening now is the last bits of it get developed and the AFL precinct and the this and the big things that are coming in. You look at Hudson Yards, you look at, you know, you look at all globally, anywhere that's been on these industrial grungy shitters, eventually they come good. And everyone wants to live on a river, on an ocean, all that sort of stuff, you know. So I think there's places you'll get growth quicker than something like that. You might go, 5 years, 10 years. Yeah, 10 years, hopefully that's all fucking done and popped.
Yep.
Versus you go Gold Coast right now, there's not many more places they can plonk. It's only ways up.
Yep.
And where can they plonk them, and can they afford to build them?
Yep.
Or get in while you still can.
Yep.
The average 2-bedroom unit here is over $1 million now. Well over $1 million into the mid ones.
Yep.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I was buying them for 7s and 8s a couple of years ago in COVID. They're now 1.5s, higher, depends. So definitely say there isn't one type of, dual keys are great, dual occupancy, because you can get one good sized parcel of land that's a bit bigger, but you get 2 income streams.
Yep.
Duplex, like maybe build in one line, but not pay so build duplex, 2-3 bedders or something, but not strata it straight away, strata it later to separate them and get uplift.
Yeah, okay.
Done a bit of that before as well. So I've done a lot of those where I've built them in one line, left it as just one title of the 2-3 bedders, but then later on done the to lodge it to separate, and then sold it to somebody and let them do it for the profit.
Yep.
So I get a premium and they get a bit of a premium.
Yep.
There's so many things to do. There's not sort of one thing for one. If somebody comes to me at 59, well, they just want capital. If somebody comes to me at 60, I'm like, you don't really want to pay stamp duty, this, that, the other, and try to make money in just 5 years.
Yep.
30s, 40s, you got time. So I think a good thing for you guys would be to be quite diverse as far as Melbourne, New South Wales, Queensland, like Adelaide, to spread yourself, because each market's independent of each other.
Yep.
So like when Melbourne's been shitting the bed, Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth have gone, Sydney's actually not done too well either. But Brisbane, Southeast Queensland, Adelaide's popped, Perth's popped. Then see like Perth started to slow down a bit. A lot of supply started hitting the market because they built so much. And then Brisbane's going through the roof.
Yep.
Right. So it's always got to be a bit unique for everyone. So what would be for you would be different to someone sitting next to you.
Yep.
But look, capital growth is king.
That's what we want. Yeah.
I used to be a cash flow guy many, many moons ago. All I looked for was duplexes, dual occupancies, high yielding properties. I've got income. How good. But then I realised I could make $100,000. Was making that in a year or two on transactions was better than making $100 a week.
Yep.
That $5,000 to get to $100,000 was going to take fucking forever. Yep. So try to stick to that 30, 45 minutes of a commutable distance to a main CBD. And it's the old story, right? Like we had this big tree change years ago in COVID and before that, and New South Wales did this Evo City thing. They pushed everyone regional. I bought heap. I got grants like $5,000, $10,000. People got paid $15,000 to move there, but it was like people would move And then they'd get there and be like, oh, there's no uni. I want to go watch the footy or the soccer or the cricket. Oh, you got to go back to Sydney to watch the cricket. You know, it's just those things that different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
But that safe bet is the more people closer to a city, the more employment, the more lifestyle, arts, culture, food. I also think of a pizza. All those perfect slices. You want all those slices. So if it's mining, you don't want to lose 8 slices because that's mining, right?
Yeah.
Like a Gladstone years ago, everyone got smashed,
High
right?
risk stuff,
You want mining to be 2 slices maybe. It's a bigger section of the economy, but it's not the whole pizza.
Yep.
So if it gets hurt, your investment's still fairly stable.
Yep.
Agriculture, education, tourism. So there's sort of no right, hey, you should just go buy this.
Yep.
But definitely, I know for me now, I'm very focused on riverfront, oceanfront, or river view, ocean view, all up the eastern seaboard.
Yep.
But staying within those hubs.
Yep.
And so is the reason you haven't really branched out into Perth, is it just that higher risk of dependency on mining?
I was one of the people that was very advocate, and probably the only person that said I'm never not going to Perth at all, and I've stuck to my guns no matter what, even when I've seen it grown. People go, oh, you lost a lot of money. If you go back to Brisbane years ago, Brisbane, Fortitude Valley, Kangaroo Point, they were heavily oversupplied. Just properties came up everywhere. It was cheap to construct. That happened in Perth. And what I kept saying, and Doc's data's now backed, is that there will be a period where it will just be loaded with cheap units and house and land packages, basic specification, whole investment areas, not slummy, but just the whole thing's investment spec. And you'll all compete for rents and you'll all compete when you've got to sell. And the quality will be not inferior, but just basic bitch package, right?
Yep.
You'll be seeing those now pop up everywhere. What we've seen now is that growth it's not stopped, but it's slowed. And the rentals now in those areas, there's half estates for rent, right? Because they're all, and it's a race to the bottom now. You've got to drop your rent. Now, Perth has always been a cyclical market attached to mining, LNG, Darwin, all those. It's like boom, bust, boom, bust, boom, bust. And Perth's actually come from a very low base because it actually had a decline and sat there fucking forever.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Suffered.
I bought a unit in 2014, which was just basically the peak. And then it actually went down in value.
Sat there.
Yeah, and then until basically COVID, when it took off again, and that's when we got rid of
Sold
it.
it for $5,000 more than you bought it
Basically,
for.
I mean, Perth had a 10-year plus
tanked, didn't it?
nothing, right? Hiatus.
Yep.
And so, and Darwin's been similar in some parts of it.
Yep.
And I was just very, very firm on my belief that if I've got Adelaide, South Australia, Victoria, Canberra, New South Wales, if I've got all of that to play with, and most of Australia live, reside, earn, work, and play there, it was safe to just not take that leap. And look, to be fair, I'll go to New Zealand before I go to WA.
Yeah.
Because it's how long it takes, right?
Yeah.
So it is so far away that it's almost to us like another country on the eastern seaboard, right?
It's still part of Australia.
Oh no, I love it. I put my community events on there, and it's probably my next office, right? To have that presence there to tick the last box. But I was just always worried of oversupply of investment grade stock, like properties in the market, and not enough people to continue to come into Perth to rent them.
Yep.
And cyclical, iron ore, China does this happens, they stockpile, and all of a sudden mass redundancies, all that sort of stuff, people breaking leases. You see all the HSV Commodores, the boats and the jet skis on the side of the road, like Mackay back in the day and Gladstone. I'm like, so I prefer, and look, no disrespect, Perth is coming into its own more as a capital city, and it's got other employment and other things going for it now. I was just always conscious that I might make 20% and see a dip of 5 or 10, so call it net 10 or 15. I was confident I could always get 10s and 15s everywhere else without the ups and downs. It was just, I was very confident in that, and the data supported that for me. So I'm like, oh, good. But I could have went and said to people, hey, you make 20, but when it dips 5, you'll fucking call me.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like, cool, wait till next year, because we've never had 2 years in a row, right? But Perth did that drop and just sat. It's having the growth it deserves, it needs, the respect it should get. It's just how long that continues. But anywhere that's affordable does this. So I called Adelaide on this before Perth, and it's outperformed nearly everywhere.
Yep.
Perth then did the same. I just wasn't comfortable what I was seeing in the quality and the build and how long it took to build and direct. I was like, fuck that, no way. You know, like if you're paying interest during construction and it's taking however long to get the land done and build in Perth, I was like, nah.
Yeah,
Yep.
at least 2 years.
Yeah, so we did quite a lot in, I call it Radelaide because it's been rad. We did heaps in Radelaide and that's done really, really well
Yep.
because it was so cheap. Like we started down there at 400-500.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing stuff in Northern Gold Coast for 400-500 in 2016-17, and now it's all $1 million.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know, Ipswich, we did the same. North Brisbane, North Lakes, Cleveland, Capalaba, all around Brisbane. Not in it, but all around it. Fucking crushed it.
Yep.
So long hair, but there's no right or wrong. It's what are your goals, needs, and objectives, and when do you want to fulfill it? But I say to people, the safe bet, if you can get within a capital city and you can see a river, an ocean, cafes, you know, just the norms. Great, happy days.
So Rhett mentioned before I'm the accelerator and he's the brake. And I'm always looking for ways that we can do more. So I guess we're not capped out in terms of our borrowing capacity. We could probably go another 1.5 apparently. But we obviously need a deposit. So what do you think
You need 150 grand.
Yep. So what do you reckon we should be
If
doing?
you've got 150 grand sitting there,
We've got 120, but that's going towards our next one
yep,
today.
yep,
And then, so if we want to get to another one next year,
yep.
I don't think we could save 150. We could maybe save half of that.
Yeah, so we want to probably negotiate with somebody for you to give them a 5% deposit. Or if you want me to be really creative, so you can leave here with a financial boner,
Yes.
okay, what we do is we secure you a property today. So, you know, we do a lot of the we're off market, exclusive, we have the whole building or the whole estate, right?
Yep.
And then we'll sell, get the financial close, and we'll all buy together. What you're probably looking at today is probably what I'm looking at, one of the penthouses today. So we'll go in and do that together. So because we go and do it together and everyone pays a 10% deposit, the sellers will usually take like 4 or 5% deposits. Or I did one for one of our staff who said, hey, I can pay $20,000 or $25,000 today, but I can't pay the balance of deposit for 12 months and the building's 3 years away. She's doing it as a home. So we made a payment plan. So we said, we'll give you $25,000 today, unconditional contract signed. You own the property, it's yours. They just have to meet installment payments. So instead of sweeping and paying off tax deductible debt, we'll just give them $5,000 every month towards the deposit.
Yeah.
Now that means
That
you
sounds
can
cool.
control that, or use a different number, say it's a $1.5 million property, give them $15,000, give them one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that means every month, instead of you go, here's $5,000, here, you're controlling the ownership of today's value of the 1.5 million,
Yep.
but you just got an installment plan for your deposit.
So we need to save 20 grand and come knocking on your door. Is that what you're telling us? And then we do it again.
Oh no, I've got a way to do it anyway today. You could do 2 today.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's
You're shitting
awesome.
me.
But I'm not sure. I'll tell you off air.
Shut the
Beautiful.
front door.
Yep.
Open the front door. I've got a deal for you. I'll work my. So you got to remember. That's what I was saying. You know how like power in numbers, because we do everything together, wholesale as a community. Like you've got to do 90%, 80% of them have got to be like this. But there's always 4 or 5. I can pull a couple of strings here and there.
Yeah.
And jaws on the floor.
And I'll tell you off air.
Yeah. Let's talk.
Oh, wow.
So you could walk out of here 10 foot tall and bulletproof today.
Sounds good.
Hey, if you had have told us this 12 months ago, that we'd be sitting here and, you know, thinking that we'd have 5 today. We didn't even think we'd have 2.
Oh, yeah.
We've got 5, maybe 6. You guys are insane.
I know.
You're absolutely not.
Medication doesn't work, so I've given up.
It's rubbing off. Yeah, I love
Well,
it.
let's we'll wrap it up. We'll talk about that, and then we will do another episode, maybe even early in the new year or something. We'll talk about what we've been able to achieve from where we are today. I think that'd be really valuable for everyone. I want to thank you guys for being so open and honest with everybody about you talked about the rent vesting and having to move out and being. It's a very open, honest, candid conversation. So I know that's going to help thousands of people that tune in and go, fuck, I just got made redundant. You guys didn't stop. That's important, right?
Yeah.
So people who are listening in, we're going to go through shit, but you just got to push on.
Yeah, and we could have let fear overtake our strategy, and I was close to it. I honestly was, because it was deeply uncomfortable. The amount of change was deeply uncomfortable. But like I said, it was kind of like the universe aligned. I watched your podcast and I went, fuck, grow up. Like, put
That's
your
one
big
of my
girl,
favourite sayings, by the way.
Yeah.
Grow up.
put your big girl panties on. Like, you know,
Yeah.
get on with it.
Yeah.
And you did. So you guys are amazing. Thank you so
done.
much.
Yeah, and I think like obviously it's a big upheaval, because with Amy being the breadwinner and her losing her job, that was obviously a really big moment this year. And we contacted like Siobhan, our RM, and she was really just supportive and amazing.
I mean,
Even sent out a hamper to say, you know, we're with you guys.
Mate, my hamper floral is fucking wild.
I bet it is. Yeah.
Well, I think it's important. You know, it's important that we don't just write the loan or help with the property. Or Pete does the suit. You know, it's important that we give a shit.
Exactly.
And that matters. You know, you want to. It's not just that you want to feel valued. It's not like I will send you a fucking hamper for the sake of it. It's the handwritten note. It's the
It's like,
we
we
hear
got
you.
ya.
We know what's going on. We'll talk to you about it every week. You know, like it's that actual. We're very, we're very fucking lucky. It wasn't always like this. It took years to get these people and to this point, and for them to fly. And they all have an unlimited budget. Like, to give your team and trust them with an unlimited budget for whether it's flowers from funerals or food for someone who's sick and can't cook, whatever it may be. And they're trusted with that. And quite often what a client pays us each year, we're in the negative once we've done 3 or 4 gestures for them for the year and serviced them. But it's building something fucking phenomenal.
But then we keep coming back, you know, so a little bit of investment here.
You're valued.
And then we keep coming back for more.
It's okay to have loss leaders in business, as long as the business makes a buck at the end of the year and pays everything. And it's okay to have loss leaders in certain areas, because people do feel valued. They do come back, and it just ingrains something. I mean, the community events are fucking. Well, we're sending people to Perth and Tassie and here, and the bus up and down, and we're fucking booking out. I don't even know half of it anymore because I can't get to them. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But to see all the photos and video, kids with the face painting and the jumping car and all that. People meeting, and people are like making cool lifelong friends from the community days now. It's fucking cool. I love my job.
Yeah.
Fucking
Doing well.
You've built an empire. It's phenomenal.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. So
Thanks.
we're going to get you down to see Lou, and I'll ring him and tell him what I think we're going to do.
Okay.
That's based on you saying you reckon you've got more serviceability.
Well, that's what
Mo said.
He said, you just need
Deposit.
The
is
upfront.
issue.
more.
capital,
The deposits.
So I can fix deposit. I can't fix serviceability. That's a go earn more. You know what I mean?
No, we're
Deposit
there.
I can fix.
Yep. Cool. Sounds good.
Done.
You're amazing. Thank you.
All right. Well done, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for sharing, and congrats. And we'll do a part 2 shortly.
Sounds great.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You fucking gone. See ya.